Just after we signed off of our live show today, we got some breaking news. Kirk Cousins spotted in Westlake, Ohio, a suburb of Cleveland, and we might be getting closer to a resolution in this Kirk Cousins trade saga, if you will. So I want to talk about whether or not this is a nothing burger or if Kirk Cousins likes to hang out in the suburbs of Cleveland in late March, because what a great time to be there. All that coming up on today's episode. But really quickly, I want to put some more space between us and Saints now in subscribers for the month of March. Let's beat them this month. Let's continue to beat them every single month. If you hate the Aints, scroll on down and click that subscribe button. But let's go back to Kirk Cousins being spotted in Ohio, because I am not going to try and choose to believe that he is just on vacation in a suburb of Cleveland. No. What I think is going on here is Kirk Cousins is in Ohio meeting with the Browns. Browns want to check him out, check out that shoulder, check out that elbow, take a look at that Achilles, and start to put together the framework of what's going to be a complex trade, because you have three parties in this trade. Usually the trade is just two parties, the team and the other team. But when you have a no trade clause involved, then the player can say no to any trade, which means you have to get approval from that player. And if you're going to get approval from that player likely wants to know what the plan is. So my gut tells me Cousins is in Cleveland meeting with the Browns, because I just refuse to believe he likes to go to Westlake, Ohio to get his Chipotle fix in. Maybe he's got some family he's visiting, but that seems like too big of a coincidence. So I am choosing to believe he is there in Cleveland meeting with the Browns to discuss two things. One, what's your plan at pick number 2? Because I don't want to come here and be surprised that you take Shedeur Sanders, and I find myself in the same position I was in Atlanta with a rookie quarterback kind of pushing me out. That's the first thing. Second thing I think they are discussing is, what would my contract look like? Because this is something the Browns would likely bring to the table to talk to Kirk about. Hey, we'd like to trade for you. We're not going to take a quarterback at number 2, but we also are not going to pay out the remaining money on your contract. So let's find a middle ground on some new reworked deal, right? Let's agree on a different 1-year contract that's more in the neighborhood of what you're really worth after the season you had last year and the disastrous ending that Kirk Cousins had in his final 5 starts for the Falcons. I think those are the two things that the two sides have to iron out. And once those sides are ironed out, then Cleveland goes to Atlanta and says, listen, we'd like to trade for Kirk Cousins. He's okay with it. We just got to come up with a fair trade offer with you guys, which I don't think should be too difficult, because I think deep down this is what Atlanta has wanted to do all along, get something for Kirk Cousins. And I think it could be a conditional 5th-round draft pick that could elevate to a 4th, depending on playing time, and could maybe go all the way up to a 3rd, depending on team success. So this is the trade idea I am rolling with. Now, another wrinkle in all this is Aaron Rodgers, because he might be weighing his options between playing or retiring. Adam Schefter alluded to this when talking on ESPN's airwaves today, and if that were to happen, that'd be great news for the Falcons. This would be ideal for Atlanta if they can create a bidding war between Cleveland and Pittsburgh for Cousins, because Rodgers decides he wants to sit out and he does not want to play. Well, all of a sudden you go from a conditional 5th-round draft pick to, we've got a full-blown bidding war going on right now. Two teams desperate for our quarterback, and we're just going to sell him to the highest bidder. There's no interest for Atlanta to pick Cleveland over Pittsburgh or Pittsburgh over Cleveland. And at that point, the Falcons could really walk away with this with maybe a 3rd or 4th-round draft pick, which I did not think would be possible based on the way he played at the end of the year and $37.5 million owed to him by someone. He's getting 37.5 Benjis into that bank account. The question is, who? Atlanta? Combination of Atlanta and Cleveland? combination of Atlanta and Pittsburgh, but the Falcons want to get a draft pick, and they want to take some of that salary and offload it to someone else. So a bidding war, if Aaron Rodgers were to retire, would be incredible for the Falcons. That would be a dream come true for Terry Fontenot. He went from doing simple math of, let's go through the quarterback vacancies. Browns, Giants, Steelers, Titans. Let's go through the options. Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Cam Ward. Ward to the Titans makes the most sense. Giants to Russ. And wait a minute, now I'm losing track of my fingers. But yeah, we've got basically two teams looking for one quarterback. Aaron Rodgers going to the Steelers, and that leaves the Browns looking for a quarterback. There it is. I don't know why I made just simple addition very complicated for myself, but you've got Cam Ward and Aaron Rodgers, two quarterbacks for three vacancies, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Tennessee. Someone's going to lose out on one of those two, and that someone's going to come running to Atlanta for Kirk Cousins in Fontenot's gamble, which I think is not a bad gamble to make. Kudos to him for standing by his gun, saying they're not going to release him, and they are weathering the storm, and they are going to wait it out. Now, if you remember, Albert Breer said a few days ago that he does not believe a Kirk Cousins trade will happen until after the draft, which is why I think if there is a meeting today right now in Cleveland with the Browns, that this meeting is just to go over some of the details that will have to be worked out if both sides can agree on those details. I don't think he is in Cleveland to get a trade done today. I think he is in Cleveland to, one, get some Chipotle, which his order is salad with double chicken, which is, I think, a good order for your quarterback. I'd be concerned if my quarterback was a carnitas guy. I don't think that would not be QB1 material. I believe, well, speaking of steakhouse, Bryce Young, I'm pretty sure, didn't the Panthers take him because he either had a great steakhouse order? I think he might have got fish, and that should have been a red flag. So that's the latest on Kirk Cousins. Slight shifting of gears. We have some kicker news. So we'll look at that in a moment. But over at Fanatics, you can get this Falcons sideline gear 35% off. Go to chatsports.com/ATL sale. They've got shirts, polos, hats, jerseys on sale. Chatsports.com/ATL sale. To wrap up today's video with what I was supposed to start the video with, which is the Falcons have made a signing. It is a kicker coming in from Germany. It is Lenny Krieg, the NFL's International Player Pathway Program. He learned how to kick by watching YouTube videos and Instagram Reels. He ended up kicking in the European Football League at the International Combine 2 days ago, yesterday, depending on when you're watching this. He went 14 for 14, and it's no surprise that after Younghoe Koo's 2024 season, Atlanta decides we would like to bring some competition in. Now, I do think it's quite noteworthy that he only met with Atlanta and stopped all future visits and signed right there on the spot with the Falcons. I don't know if he just had some lemon pepper wings and was like, I love this city, bury me here. You know that meme? I think we all know the meme I'm talking about. Or afraid of flying. Like, I don't want to go on a plane. I'm kind of just ready to be done with this program. Thinks the name Falcons is badass. These are all legitimate options right now for why he would just settle. Or the Falcons told him, hey, there's a really good chance you could start here. Because with the way Younghoe Koo played a season ago, we are looking to make a change. And after hearing that, he's like, well, no sense in going somewhere else. If they are telling me I've got a real chance of starting, then I'm not going to mess around with it. And I'm going to take a very close to next guarantee thing. So just something to think about right there. But that's going to do it for us on today's episode. We were going to sign off. We have a lot of content coming out over the next few days, so I don't want you to miss anything. Subscribe to the channel. That way you are in the know all off season long.